Yes, we can start the webinar. Hello, everyone, and welcome. And thank you for joining us now. My name is Olena Granyuk, and I'm Regional Manager for the Central Eastern Europe at the SME Banking Club, and I will be your host today. And today we are going to discuss the topic of digital sales to SME customers and how to personalize the offer to that segment. And I'm glad to be joined by Marta Mróz-Szczypiora, Product Manager at Asseco Poland, a leading IT solution provider present in more than 50 countries, and Kai Herzberger, Chief Marketing Officer at Contist, a digital bank for freelancers and self-employed in Germany. And so hello, Marta and Kai, thank you for joining.
Hello, hi.
Okay, so before we start, just a very quick mention from my side on the organizational moments. So our webinar is scheduled for half an hour. We are recording this webinar, so right after we finish, you will receive a link to the video and the presentation. And in the end of the webinar, we're gonna have time for your questions. So please type your questions into the chat, even during the presentation, and we will be ready to answer them in the end. So let's go to the topic. We decided to discuss the topic of digital sales to SMEs and how to tailor the offer to that segment, which will be actually that the offer will be in the context of customer business situation and real needs exactly in this real-time moment. And this is crucial in current time when we are limited with physical contacts and probably the usual sales models via relationship managers should move to remote channels as well. If to give a quick overview on what we see here in the Central Eastern Europe, that at the end of last year, percentage of micro and SME customers acquired online counted 80 or close to 100% in fintechs. It depends on if they have some partnership programs or not, and 20% in banks. At the beginning of this year, at least in Poland, average target that banks were setting on digital customer acquisition was at the level 30–40%, but this was before the lockdown, which most probably will have long-lasting effect and will accelerate the digitalization in sales as well. So as well as it happened in customer service, so in data operations, where now business customers, I think close to 100% of the business customers moved to remote channels. So here I would like to pass the word to Marta and Kai to share their thoughts on that. And Marta, would you start?
Of course. Hello, everybody. So I present some slides regarding the marketing automation, and after that we will forward to the discussion about this, I don't know this problem, but this is the idea to going forward in SME area. First of all, I promise that this is not the selling presentation. This is the market overview, where the market is going nowadays in SME functionalities, SME activities in the marketing automation. And after that, I will tell you about something about the machine learning and AI using and functionality using in this in personalization and in product for the SME customers. Okay. We firstly, of course, we will try to answer of this question where AI and machine learning will be in the marketing automation for the SME customers. We also know during our searching onto the market as Asseco Poland, or also we know that from the retail point of view and retail customer point of view, the marketing automation is almost done in area of the sending direct mails, sending information to the direct customers, but from the business banking and from the corporate banking, it's all start about 2 years ago, and still this is huge gap to be more precise in personalization of this for this kind of customers internally in the financial institutions. Why? The information. Okay, this is the statistics from the market. First of all, according to the customer relationship index receiving from the report from PwC, we see that almost 70% of the customers told as respondents told the PwC that the banks don't respond to changes their situation. So, firstly, the banks send the information to the customer. The offer is not direct to the particular group of the customer. The offer, sometimes it happens that it is standard. And for example, they send the information regarding the deposits and they need to credit and so on. So we also know that as Olena mentioned before, that almost 100% of SME customer, mid-corporate customers, the financial transactions are made digital, online via mobile, and they don't use the branches for this kind of transactions. So going forward and dig deeply, we see, according to the economists, also intelligence unit, that the marketing campaigns and marketing information sending directly to the customers will be going forward to this kind of respondents. Why? Because this report, this is very good report, and shows where the artificial intelligence and machine learning functionalities will be used, in which areas of the banking sector. Firstly, of course, in the personalization of the marketing content. Secondly, for the security reasons, so KYC, credit capabilities, and so on. Thirdly, it is open banking, new activities onto the European market. And thirdly, it is also connected with the fraud detection. It is also connected with the security. So we also know that this area, it is connected with the functionality regarding machine learning, and after that, the particular offer to the particular customer. But sometimes it happens when I discuss with the banks, it happens that the banks focus of the data, because this is mainly based on the data collected from the huge system internally, and there is the information, okay, what we should do with this data. And machine learning based on this data create new possibilities to go forward with the customer, but not only with the customer, also with the leads. We shouldn't forget, as a bank, of course, about the leads and the particular potential customers. Why? Because about the customer, we know almost everything internally in the banking, in the financial in the financial institution. But from the leads point of view, we almost know nothing. So this area should be more precise regarding the also SME customers, to be more precise, to put the particular offer to this kind of potential customer. Going forward, according to the same report, the Economist Intelligence Units show the most important things where the artificial intelligence will be used. It was the survey done by the most biggest bank in the world. And the answer was that on the first step will be the greater customer personalization capabilities. So the personalization is on the top. After that, as I mentioned before, IML and KYC. Of course, the digital marketing, and of course, the thing connected with the personalization is the profiling and microsegmentation. I will stop here in the few seconds about the microsegmentation and personalization. This is the two things really close and really connected with themselves, because in the bank, internal procedure in the banks sometimes divided customers into 3-4 segments: retail, affluent, SME, mid-corporate, corporate, and so on. And that's all. But nowadays, the artificial intelligence and machine learning functionalities helps also the bank to divide deeply in the particular segment, not only connected with the profit or loss data or the transaction from the transactional point of view, or from the if the client is bigger, smaller, and so on, but also regarding their transactional internally in the bank, but also externally. Why? We do some exercises that the open banking, especially in the UK, helps the bank to be more precise and to be more tailored, to send the tailored offer to the customer. Why? It is not connected only with the data internal in the bank, but they also examine the data receiving from the another banks. So of course the bank knows exactly what was the transaction of the client, when the client needs the credit line, for example, but also to put the whole spectrum, to put the whole information regarding to this particular group of client. They catch the data from the open banking, so they knew more about their transaction on the other accounts, so they could be better tailoring, that could send a better offer to this particular group of clients. Few words about the marketing automation. What exactly is it? It's a technology. It is a machine learning system. It is nowadays artificial intelligence functionality put to the offers. It is also the engine. We can go forward. This is the huge engine to help not only marketers, because this is not a solution connected and going forward to this group of internal clients, such marketers. This is a functionality which helps also in the strategy from the strategy point of view. It is also connected with the product point of view, mainly in the product point of view, how to manage the product, how to boost also the sales, because this is a lot of information and lot of data transferred and put to the particular, not only group of clients externally, clients of the bank, but clients internal in the bank. Why? Because we discuss about the offer to the client externally, the bank client, but we forget sometimes about the customer service, about the sales departments, where the customer service and sales departments needs this data, but not the pure data, okay, do something with it and do the Excel sheet and so on, but the data transferred. Okay, we see which we can offer to our clients such the product and the list of products. Of course, this is not era of Excel. This is era of machine learning. You should put, okay, you can see this is your client, this is your discussion with the client, this is your data which you received from your client, and after that, salesman can, a relationship manager can, in easy way, online way, do another offer to this particular client. So don't forget about the internal people, because they need also this functionality of course, when we discuss regarding the whole, because marketing automation is the word, two words, such a blockchain, very good, such a digitalization, very good, everybody use it, but nowadays it is also connected with the internal people sitting at the banks in the financial institutions and want to know more about their customers. Because why this is only last thing about this this area. Why the standard CRMs don't give the particular back office people this information. Nowadays, this is the standard information about the funnel, sales, and that's all. Nowadays, the sales managers, salespeople, back office, call center, chatbots, and so on. I can imagine whole spectrum of the people connected with the final customers wants to know about this customer more. This is the particular group of clients. It is not retail customer. This is the sometimes it happens that this is this group of clients is very very pushing of the bank, do something more with my account, with my budget, and so on. So please remember that this is not only the final customer. So going forward about the personal marketing automation and information regarding regarding this technology. Of course, personalization, of course, targeting, and the most important thing, which I like the most, it's analytics. Analytics engine that can help not only me, but also can help the financial institution to do the better targeting, for example, marketing campaign. And what is the benefit of the to put the marketing marketing automatization and marketing marketing maybe automatization to life in financial institutions? 3 words. Not okay, this is the increased leads, of course, improved personalization for sure, improve social media, no doubts, and so on. We can see there is a lot of pros, and I think the one cons, it will be the costs, but we will see. But finally, 3, the main important things are attract, engage, and close. Why? Because we should attract the client with my offer. Why? Because when I have this client internal in my financial institution, I cannot put him away. Why I talking about? Because it happens that there is the significant occasion in this the clients do the significant significant occasion to put away from the bank, but they want to stay. They stayed in the bank if they received the proper offer. I read the article regarding the existing customer, after that to potential customers, and there is the 7 times more cheaper to send the customer the offer, personalized offer, than to receive new customers. So this is connected on directly with the cost. Engage to do with this particular group of customers, this particular group of potential customer leads, the most important send the most important products, and of course do this transactional internally in the banks. And closed, this is the close of the not of the contract, but closed to open, for example, the account, or close to the generally transactional functionalities internal the bank. Of course, when we sitting here and discussing regarding the benefits, there is one benefit which happens now, connected with the artificial intelligence. It's real-time activity. This is most important thing. When we implement the solutions regarding the bots, nowadays the bots are using nowadays, and after that putting information regarding the catch the information from the bot receiving from the customer, the banks can actively send information to the direct customer regarding their potential needs. And one more statistics shown also onto the market is about directly with the SMEs. Why the SMEs can leave the bank and change the bank from the to another bank, so go outside. Firstly, as you can see, it's a lack of value added. Sometimes it happens that in such cases, clients also answer regarding the cost, but the costs are obvious. And finally, the lack of personalization. If you can see, it's almost 40% that there is the lack of personalization of the offer. The standard offer, the standard price can push the SME customer to change the bank. So as you can see, this is the real data regarding the customers, but I will strongly enhance you to put the information regarding the marketing automation also from for the leads and potential customers. It's a huge base in direct market. So what is the roadmap and customer journey in SME in the marketing automation, and where is the systems? Because, you know, I am from the technology point of view, so I am on the dark side. 15 years I was on the white side working in the banks. Now, of course, with the SME customers, and after that I am nowadays from the IT point of view. So of course I also push the huge emphasis of this segment of functionalities. And first of all, we go for segmentation, acquisition, cross-selling, retention, and collection. In these whole aspects, we can add functionalities, automate functionalities, end-to-end processes, end-to-end information regarding the whole group of customers, not only from the group point of view, but also from the one-to-one customer. When we discuss about the cross-selling, we can help internally on the 360-degree view of the customer, pushing whole information from the whole databases functionality information about the particular customer. If customers paid off whole sum of money from the accounts, and if particular customers wants to leave the bank, we also has got this information, because machine learning helps with these activities and helps prevent this churn activities of the customers. How it works in very quick way. Can you see my screen? Oh, now. Okay. Firstly, the profiling. Profiling, we collect whole data with the whole internal data, but also in it can be that will be external data such as socials, such open banking, so another accounts and so on. Of course, the analyzing here is the heart of the whole machine learning functionalities, and offering. We put information and match the best offer to the particular group of client. And the last thing, it's of course the pros and cons. First, tailored from the prospect, from the potential customers, it's tailored offer for the new customers. We examine the group of customers, we examine their transactional, we examine the customer existing from the financial institution side and put, okay, this potential customer can buy this group of products. So this is the boutique of the product which the customer can buy. From the customer point of view, dedicated cross-sell, upsell offer, but really dedicated, personalized and hyper-personalized. This is a new trend onto our market, appeared in 2020. So I think it will be the huge possibility to do this hyper personalization. And of course, from the bank point of view, enrich the, as I mentioned, 360 customer view and provide whole information regarding this particular group of the customers. Okay, so from my point of view, that's all. If you have any questions, please chat and we will answer directly.
Yes, thank you, Marta.
Thank you.
And Kai, what is your experience in contests? So what are your customer acquisition channels, and how do you use marketing automation and artificial intelligence targeting your customers?
Yeah, first of all, for those who don't know, Contest, it was founded in 2016, basically by freelancers trying to make the freelance life a bit easier and safer, enabling freelancers to do what they want to do and care less about their finances. So it basically starts where the classic bank account stops and adds new functionality, and such as bookkeeping integrations and cash flow prognosis. So basically that's also where the automation starts to build this bridge. I think in Contest we're making use of automation on a lot of fields. As Marta mentioned, it's not only the marketing, but it's also the product itself. So it kind of like evolves around a customer-centric view. For instance, talking about the bookkeeping integrations we have with LexOffice, these are automated in a way, and they use algorithms and intelligence to trigger, for instance, if you pay with a Contest card for something, you will receive an automated push notification. And at the same time, the LexOffice software will know through communications of the APIs that there's been a transaction. So the LexOffice app will open and ask you to take a picture of the actual invoice, and it will bring the invoice and match it to the transaction in the banking account, hereby having a seamless integration of banking and bookkeeping that's been pretty much out of reach for traditional banks in comparison to fintechs. So this is basically on the product side, but we also go deeper. Currently, we are looking into we're using machine learning to transfer the manual categorization of transactions that we have into an automated. So the machine learning looks at the different incoming transactions and is just learning how to categorize them. And yeah, we're really looking forward to launch this feature in the near future. So I think there's a lot of points that Marta mentioned that we're looking into in terms of marketing. Of course, there's the options that the classical vendors out there have for you. So if you're looking at Facebook, the automation that you get by implementing the pixel on your site, so you can remarket tailored offers to people who have seen the product page of the plan A for 30 seconds or the plan B for visited 2 times. You get a different communication then. So this is something that wouldn't have been able with, let's say, with a manual team. You know, this is just, you would have needed so much manpower to look into this. But yeah, what else? I mean, looking at the sales cycle at Contest, this is basically very much in line with what Marta presented. So for the lead acquisition, we do Facebook lead generation ads. So we have this automation in Facebook itself. We do webinars where we collect emails and do tailored drip campaigns through a tool called Intercom. I guess most of you are familiar with that. So these are tailored drip campaigns. If we're able to convert this lead into a user is still without a bank account, but you know, we segment this by the lead is just the email address. The user has an email address and a password, and then from there on, we have classical onboarding mails that vary based on the channel that we acquired the user from. So we tailor this to that degree. So for instance, if we know somebody came through a Google search and we are able to capture the initial search intent, so we know what this user was looking for, or let's say not we, but the intelligence knows that it's in the data. So we can trigger and use this keyword to prompt something else. So there are a lot of options and a lot of possibilities that we're making use of at Contest.
Mm-hmm. And do you acquire purely online, purely digitally your customers?
Contest was founded as a mobile-first digital bank. We included a web app last year, but we don't have any branches. So I guess every sale that we do has a digital background at least. So I guess we're probably at 99%. We do some outbound calling to enhance the sales cycle, to follow up with leads that we think we should nurture a bit more that haven't responded to the mailing campaigns, for instance. So we add a call and ask, and the call agents, they have the full history. Where was this user or this lead seen in the first place? What was the first touch point that we have? So they understand where the topic might be that the lead doesn't want to convert into a user, so they can do let's say a tailored, personalized call, and then trying to convince the user, mainly with our USPs, but sometimes also with incentives, to tailor some offer, provide a discount, for instance, to get the lead converted. But basically, I guess 99 to 100% are digital. We're looking into offline experiments every once in a while, working with promoters and stuff, but it's not on as a standard campaign. It's always an experiment. We evaluate this experiment, and if at some point we see that the return we get from these users we acquire and the cost, so let's say the return on advertising spend is in line with what we see in the digital channels, I have no problem implementing an offline channel. This is I'm very indifferent. In the end, it's about the quality of the clients that we can acquire, and whether that's online or offline. I'm indifferent in that topic.
And do you segment your customers somehow? Because Marta actually mentioned, and probably this is one of the topics that was or is being discussed for several years in the region regarding the segmentation, a more detailed segmentation, and even about the behavioral segmentation of the customers. Yeah, so, and I guess we still have no example in the region and SME, at least for the behavioral segmentation. So do you use something like this? And maybe then, question also to Marta, because you have also a banking background. So what are the steps actually to implement this segmentation and targeted offers with marketing automation? But first, Kai, do you segment somehow?
I think it's very important to look into this and to do this, because how will you know what to offer to which segment or to which customer group? If you're bringing out a new product, first you need to do some research, and you need to look into what kind of clients do I have, and what are from their behavior. You understand how they're using the app. You understand what they're using a lot and using not so much, and from that you will be able to foresee products in the future. So it's basically, like I said before, it's not only to upsell or to use this for acquisition purposes, but also for the entire development of the product alongside or in a user-centric way. So for instance, if I'm looking at an overdraft, I need to be very clear which segment will I offer this overdraft to. So this is probably offer this in the first place as a test, and then roll it out to others as well. So I pick a cohort that probably are very heavy users that use the app a lot, and then look at let's say their account balance, and it towards the end of the month they are quite short. These people are in need of an overdraft to just secure their balance line, and not having them drop off. So this is a real case, you could look into, but there's so many other cases. I mean, if you're looking at retailers selling sneakers, that's a whole other case, and they've been doing that in a much more professional way than banks on average, I guess. But and in the past, this has been subject to having scientists, developers, data scientists on board. But if you're looking into services that are out there, if you're taking for instance Segment, they have a persona solution that comes kind of like out of the box, that you can tailor to your needs, and that will work with a lot of solutions out there. So looking into this open banking landscape, I think we're kind of like having an open data landscape, where you have providers that simply out of the box in no time connect through the classical channels that we're using. If we're looking at Google, if we're looking at Facebook, LinkedIn, other networks. So you can just say, okay, connect, and it's, oh, wow, it's done. And the data flows into this. And it helps you to create this holistic approach from a first touch, from a lead to in-app usage, to, let's say, even if we're always looking at the freelancer journey. So the first thought of becoming a freelancer, potentially visiting the Contest blog and informing about how to become a freelancer. So you're not very happy with your permanent employment, and you're trying to get some ideas how this can work. So Contest has a really large blog that I kindly ask everyone to check out. It's really great. And so people come to the blog, it's a first touch, and they become a lead until they, you basically retire, and we can offer some pension product, for instance. So from this first touch to this last touch, it has to be in one clean database with good schemas. So you can sit basically any tool on top of that to do automation, to do analysis, to apply algorithms, and just prosper from that data richness that you have. At some point it looks overwhelming, but I guess there's a lot of tools out there nowadays that help even people that are not too much into data science to make use of that.
I fully agree with Kai, because as you mentioned, Kai, the heart of the whole marketing automation functionality is clear database. It's almost 100% sure that where you have the good database and good data to analyze it, the whole information regarding the segment and regarding the profiling of the customer will be in 100% point good. Going forward and answer directly to Olena question, from my point of view, when I sitting directly in the huge banks, generally in the banks we have two segmentations. Why? Because first segment, it was strictly and directly with the internal politics banks. For example, as I mentioned on my presentation, retail, SME customer, and so on. But the other segmentation and the offer connected with the particular group of clients was that in this SME customer, we divided customers into self-employed, agriculture, manufacturer, and so on, because this kind of customers has got different offer. Why? Because of course there is from agriculture, for example, this is a good example. The agriculture has the seasons, and agriculture has got the credits regarding the seasons when, for example, they can sell his product or her products, this product, and so on. So from my point of view, the most important thing was that the segmentation should be connected with the personalize the offer, and after that should be also connected with the internal segments and internal politics with the banks. This is whole spectrum. And what banks should do with this? Firstly, the banks should start with the data. Which data they want to proceed and which data can give to the machine learning and functionalities. After that, the system and the engine will analyze this data and put the upsell or cross-sell offer.
I will encourage, we'll announce that we can stay actually extra several minutes. So if our attendees have some questions, so please type them into the chat. And maybe my summarizing question will be, so yes, banks, even if they don't, Marta, yes, you mentioned in Kai as well, the open banking opportunities that are opening right now. So first of all, banks really own a large amount of data themselves. Definitely, they have more data than fintechs. And now with the open banking opportunities, they can also have extra data from additional sources as well. So what are the steps, maybe if you can, really do announce such short steps, what banks actually should do to monetize the data that they have and to turn it to this personalized offer to the business customers, to SMEs?
So first of all, as we mentioned together with Kai, that the first step is sitting together with the external, I don't know, because I represent ASECO Poland, so we have such solution that we sitting together with the bank and analyze what exactly data they have, and of course in what areas, because it is not only connected with the database, internal huge database, but also it is connected with call center data. It is also connected with the transactional data in the bases, internal databases. It is connected with the behavioral situation of the particular group of clients. So firstly, we're sitting together with the bank and have a discussion. Sometimes discussion it is 1 week, but sometimes it happens that the data is unstructured so much that we're sitting a lot of time. It is true. This is the true situation, especially in the big banks, because this is the huge connection between SME customer, retail customer, and maybe sometimes in mid-corpo, because one customer can be in different roles in the bank internally. So to have the whole information regarding this customer, we should decide together which data we put to the machine learning. After that, we thinking and implement solution for the leads point of view, because leading is it's easy. Of course, we do nothing about this client. This is the potential client. This is not the client. But sometimes it happens that the lead is the client of the bank. And then we can put the particular offer. So we started from the leading point of view. And after that, we do the step forward and analyze and put to the machine, to the engine, information regarding the client. And machine learning can show us the information regarding the segment of the client, but this is not connected with the segment of the internal politics from the banking point of view. It can be, I don't know, sometimes it happens that it is 7, 8, 10 segments of the particular group of SME customers. So this is not only 3. This is the really deeply segmentation of the client. And going forward, when we have the good segment of this client, we can focus on the products. Okay, in this segment, we can see this client should have this group of products. We have products portfolio internally and put and match the information regarding the product and the client and give this particular offer. So I don't want to tell you that this is a long way. No, sometimes it happens in very, especially in neobanks, in fintech banks, it is very easy. Really, it is because the database is closed and it's very easy. But in the huge banking system, there is a lot of data which we should structure, and after that, as Kai mentioned, do the, I don't know, head of the structural data, put information and put marketing offer, and not only marketing offer, helps the sales also. So this is connected with in 2 ways.
Yeah, thanks. Kai, would you recommend something to our attendees?
I guess what Marta says is fully true. It is better to make a good plan before you dive head into a project, and it's with all projects, I guess. If you haven't done the planning properly, the last 5% tend to be a real headache. So I guess classical bands probably. I mean, we come from a lot of systems that have grown over time. There was no, let's say, SAP for banks out there, so everybody was using the same solution. Every bank built their own IT infrastructure, and I myself have been in Lotus Notes migration for a major bank in Germany at some point, and it was a real pain. So I guess I have no clue how these structures have changed. I guess some of them remain, but even classical banks have to move at some point, and potentially this crisis now and the need to have to look into more digital channels helps them to do these steps quicker. I guess it's really necessary to have the big picture in place, to know where the data comes from, to see if there are automated connections, if the data is clean, and then to bring it all together. And there's people out there that have done that a couple of times, so it's totally fair to bring in some external consultants and get help. Even in fintechs, setting up a proper tracking plan for a website, for the app, to achieve certain metrics, KPIs that you want to have, is not something that everyone just does out of the box. There's a learning curve with that as well. And if there's experts out there that have done that, bring them in, get some consultant, get some help in doing so. For Contest itself, I mean, we cater currently basically 2 plans to our clients. It's the free plan and it's the premium plan. So there's not, like in a classical bank, you would have a lot of products that you can group and present to the clients, to the different segments, and make special offers. due to the fact that we only have 2 plants, we are looking into this, but we're naturally limited. So, like I said before, we're looking more into, let's say, product development than rather than picking the right bundle for the right segment. So it's more like how do certain segments or certain users adapt certain features, and then creating the right consequences from that, and then presenting or rolling out the feature in a big way. I guess it's probably, if we're looking to the valley, this is how Airbnb, this is how Facebook, this is basically how you do it. You cater certain functionalities to a group and test it out, see the data that comes in, how Netflix does it with series, how many people watch this in one take, how long does it take them, and from that on, make the right decisions. And like Marta said, sometimes it's a long way, but it's definitely, every journey starts with the first step. So look into any vendor out there who can help if you don't know how to do it. That's nothing to be ashamed of. This is everybody is born and there's no knowledge inside of us. So, and the data topic is really something to conquer.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. So, okay, thank you very much for your contribution. So we will be closing the webinar. So thank you, Marta and Kai, for your contribution, and thank you to all our attendees for your presence till the very end. So thank you, and goodbye.
You so much.
Yes, see you next time online. Bye.
Thank you. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Kai.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Olena. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.